Hello everyone and welcome to a new video of Firepower Threat Defense series. In this video, we are going to look at how to configure OSPF on Firepower Threat Defense box. So this is the box where we are going to configure OSPF between this and this router, and then we'll try to ping the loopback interface of this router from this VPC. And all the configuration will be done on this FMC because this box is this FMC managed. So I have already done the configuration on the router. Let me show you. So this is the OSPF configuration done on the router. You can see I've just enabled OSPF and then two networks are participating in it. Now let's do the configuration on the FTD end. So for that, you go to FTD and after that, device management, you will see our FTD. Then here, click on this pencil icon to edit. Okay, now in order to configure OSPF, go to routing and in here you select the OSPF. There are two processes of OSPF you can run. Okay, so we're just gonna run one process. We don't need the other process. So I'm fine with one process. ID is automatically taken. You cannot modify it. And what will be the role of this FTD in the OSPF topology? Will it be acting as an internal router? Will it be acting as a area border router, or autonomous system border router, or area border router and ASBR? We are gonna make it as internal router, and we can put some description there in the field. So we don't really need to put a description. It's just in case if you want. So under the advanced, if you click on the advanced button, there are more advanced settings like router ID, how the router ID will be determined, some LSS related settings, and then adjacency changes. Do you want to log adjacency changes or log adjacency changes in detail? What is the cost? Sorry, what is the AD for the inter area, intra area, and external routes of OSPF, and then you have LSA group pacing settings. There are a lot of settings, and this is for NSF non-stop forwarding. You can do those settings if you really need them. Okay, we're not gonna make them here. We're just gonna configure plain OSPF and see how the stuff works. And then yeah, it, like OSPF is a concept of areas. Now let's add a area in here. Okay, add OSPF process 1, the area is bind to OSPF 1, OS area ID is 0. Because on the router as well, I have configured area ID 0. Area type, uh, normal, stub, and SSA, our area is normal area. Metric value, not required. Metric type is already selected as 2. And then what networks will participate in this area? So, our LAN and our outside underscore 2. These will participate. Any authentication setting for this area, you can put the configuration in here. We are not going to use it. And what's the default cost? Then the range, you can set up the range and the virtual link if there is a virtual link. Okay, OSPF has a concept of virtual link when you want to connect two areas that already have an area in between. Now let's hit OK, and that's how your area is now added and the networks participating in it. Redistribution can be configured here. Inter-area stuff can be configured here. OSPF process, area ID, prefix list, and traffic direction, filter rules, any other route filter rules, summary addresses, and interface related settings. Right? If you click on here, you can say, okay, I have an interface. Uh, yeah, come up. Yeah. So let's select, I've selected this. What's the default cost? What's the priority? And MTU, do you want to ignore or not? Otherwise, MTU at times take, if you have differing MTU, then your OSPF neighborship might not, come up. And then, yep, authentication at the interface level, you can put it here. And then if it is a point-to-point link, check this box. And then in terms of neighborship, you can define the neighbors here on this interface, reachable via this interface. We are not going to do that config. We want to have it discovered, automatically. Let's save the changes. Okay, saving. Once it is saved, we need to deploy the changes and then we'll check. There should be a route coming on our router for 10.0.0.0/24 from the OSPF, and firewall will get a route for 3.3.3 from this router via the OSPF process, because this network needs to be known to firewall, so via the OSPF, so the VPC can connect to this. I'll just power on these ones as well because these will be required. And yep, we need to deploy the changes. 1 second. Okay, deploy the changes. Okay, so the changes are being deployed. Let's wait for them to finish. Okay, so the deployment on the FTD is now complete. And I also have a message on the router that says OSPF adjacency change. Process 10, we have a new neighbor. That's our FTD. Now let's have a look at the here, what the routes we have from the coming from the OSPF. Show IP OSPF. Let's first see neighbors. Yeah, our FTD is a neighbor. It's a BDR, and the neighborship state is full. Okay, VDR is basically backup designated router. It's a concept in within OSPF of designated router and backup designated router when your network is off type broadcast. Okay, let's check the routing table. Yeah, I have a route. See, 10.0.0.24 coming via FTD. Perfect. Now let's see what route we have on the FTD. Go to manage virtual routers, click on routes, the easy way. Yes, see, oh, this is an OSPF route, and it says clearly that it's for 3.3.3 and reachable via the router. Now let's go and do a ping from this machine, but let's check if this has an IP address or not. These VPCs get hung at times, and I have to do IP DHCP in order to force them to get the IP from the DHCP. Just 1 second. I'm 16. Okay, here we are. Okay, no IP. Let's do Dora. So Dora completes. Dora is done, and our IP address is 10.0.0.2. Let me see the IP address coming from FTD. FTD1.lab is the domain. Let's ping. First ping 1.1.1. Reachable. This is going to the internet. Now let's ping 3.3.3. 3.3.3.3, and it works. See? Let's do, just for the double confirmation, let's debug. Sorry. Debug debug IP ICMP. So whatever packets we sent from here, we see the responses sent back there. Yeah, see 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more. I think this 5 complete. Yeah, 5 is complete, and it works now. Let's just check the logs on the FMC and see that we shouldn't be hitting any NAC because it should be plain routing job. Um, yeah, analysis. I'll go to unified events. So it's querying for the events. I expect it to show us soon. I see 2 events. 10.0.0.2, 3.3.3. Let's open it up and see what do we have inside. Yep, went out outside too. There is no NAC. Perfect. That's what we wanted to do. So that's it for this video. And thank you for your time. And I'll see you in the another video. Till then, have a good day.